welcome back to After the Scandal. I'm Lachelle, and you're watching MySliceTV.com. Don't forget to join our chat room and leave your comments to be a part of tonight's conversation. Gladiators, what's going on? What's going on during this episode? I mean, all these flashbacks, such heartbreaking moments. We've got to talk about this. Let's go ahead and introduce our guest for tonight. We've got Morgan. Say hi to everyone, Morgan.
Hi.
And joining us tonight, we have Sierra. Okay, and so what we're going to do is, let's just start right at the top. Morgan, for tonight's episode, what was the first thing, when it first started off with that first conversation between Olivia and Fitz, what jumped out at you?
Oh, I'm still kind of wrapped up in the end. I got to remember what happened.
Specifically, when Olivia called him and said, "I'm going after the White House." And he said,
yes.
"Go." And she said, "I'm going for the jugular." And he said, "You better."
Yes, I think, it's just so evident that Fitz is just still so in love with her and just wants the best for her, which kind of makes me a little nervous for the future since I'm Team Jake Ballard. But yes, I'm Team Jake. Fitz is out. Fitz needs to anyway.
I mean, he is married, so, you know.
I mean, yeah, he's, unhappily married, but married nonetheless. So, it's, then he talks about the Dalai Lama. I mean, it was just a reminder that they really do have, like, this real love for each other, but, like, Vermont will never happen.
Yeah, so. Man, no, they got a bunch of idealistic things go floating around in both of their minds. Sierra, let me bring you into the conversation and say, how do they have this behind the scenes kind of just connection with each other? Like, he's in the White House and she's outside the White House, and they're working together, but they're really causing for both of their industries to clash, but it's together. Like, what's your input on this? How is all of this really going to plan out? Like, in real life, how is this really ever going to work? Because somebody's got to get burned,
You know what?
Oh, to Sierra.
Honestly, I feel like it can work. And relationships have worked in the past where if, the mistress becomes the wife and the guy, like, puts past all his bad stuff and they move forward. So I think it could happen, but, I mean, of course, we have the critics that are like, oh, my God, he's such a this or he's such a that, but I think it could work. And I think they're good for each other. If he could just let his wife go and they could just move forward, like, he could stop cheating.
Yeah. These two, eventually, it's going to catch up with them. Okay, let's go. I don't know how many of you guys out there, all gladiators have, like, their favorite character. I have a soft spot in my heart for Hawk. And tonight, with all of these flashbacks, are taking me back to the time when she met him in the subway. And then I was remembering, because he was like a regular guy who had a family, and really kind of showing how his story truly unfolded and how Olivia got connected. Then they had the flashbacks with her and her dad, and her dad still coming back. You guys, what's going on with her father? Like, all of a sudden, he's like totally in the picture, and he's totally bogarting everything, and he's like in control and calling the shots. And I kind of want him to shut up and sit down. I mean, no disrespect, Papa Pope. We understand. You the man. But I'm just saying, like, guys, what's going on with him? Is it an ego thing? Is his job in danger? Is he running from somebody? What do you think?
I think we got a clue tonight when he said that the job of the B613 is to uphold the Republic. And I think right now that's being threatened by this affair. And so, unfortunately, Olivia is caught up in it, which is why he tried to. I think that the father, she really picks some men who have to show their love for her in really unfortunate ways. But I think that he really, he overstepped his, commands so he could get Sunday dinners again. Well, because, he got what he wanted. But that's
a really good point. And that's a good place for me to bring Sierra. is Sunday dinners really worth our lives? Because I feel like, if it was me and I was trapped in the hole somewhere, and I don't think I want nobody talking about let her go and I'll have pork chops with you again. What? Is Sunday dinner really worth somebody's life? What is wrong with this man? He's crazy. Sierra, Morgan, let me know. How do we really feel about Papa Pope? Honestly, just straight shooting. How do we feel about this guy, this character?
I think, first of all, he reminds me, he looks exactly like Candyman, so I can't get bad at it. But other than that, I think he was a good dad. He raised his daughter right, so he did enough right. But her mom left him for a reason. So this could be why. He's controlling. His ego is the size of China. I don't know. I don't like him.
I don't really like him either. And this whole back and forth thing, this mystery surrounding around her mom and why she left or if she really left. And I mean, look, this guy's the commander of Beast 13. And did he have her killed? You know what I'm saying? Right. Did she backmouth and was she going to the press? This guy, I don't think you can trust this guy. And for that reason, Morgan, go ahead.
I think I'm starting to kind of get a glimpse in what Shonda Rhimes is really trying to communicate with this show.
Oh, sure,
and I just think that it's, we kind of fantasize about a lot that goes on that we don't know about. But I think that she's really just trying to show us how special normalcy is. And I think that's why the whole Sunday dinner thing is a big deal, why the whole Vermont thing is a big deal, why when you ask that question about, can they ever have normal? Yeah, they can have normal, but it's probably going to come at a big expense. And so I wouldn't underestimate the value of a Sunday dinner to someone who kills people for a living. I think I'm starting to see how we're supposed to start to appreciating just everyday random normalcy. I think that's what I'm starting to get from the show.
Well, and also to add more value to monogamy in marriage, because God bless everybody. Fitz, you got a wife, okay? And we love Olivia, and y'all got this whole whatever thing happening. No, guys, because now you brought in the little intern. What's her name, guys? Sheldon. What's the intern's name? She was an extra. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know. They poured the little girl out the coat closet and was like, it was her. She's just trying to pay her way through college. She just, you guys, what's up with that? And what's up with Melly, going behind and, plotting stuff and calling people, making midnight run. The wicked and evil in her is really coming out. I think she's really starting to feel that role a little bit.
Right.
So what's going on? How do we feel about Melly? Because last episode we were like, oh, here comes trouble. She never wants to work with the plan, and now this episode she seems to have her own plan, and her plan actually worked this time. Normally it kind of blows up in her face, but this time Melly might have been onto something. Maybe she does have a promising future in politics. She could do it. Sierra, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm just listening.
Okay.
Oh my God, I don't like Billy at all.
Agreed.
Yeah. Yeah. Tell me this. How do we feel about Jake Ballard? Coming I guess not out of nowhere, but finally coming out of that hole. This guy, right. remember from last season now, this is the guy who we thought was trying to kill her and then was kind of trying to watch her and then kind of was falling in love with her, but then kind of not, and then kind of got mixed up with his job and her job, and then he got snatched away, and now he's back. Where is this going? What does he have to offer? And Olivia, is she with Fitz or does she want Jake? What's happening?
Right. I can guarantee in the end, Jake is going to somehow be connected to the homeless guy. We already know they went through the same thing, but I bet they're closer than what we know, and it's going to come out, and I bet her daddy's hope is going to all fall down in the end. I guarantee it.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's, You guys, okay. Here's, you know what? Let me ask. Hey, guys in the chat room, I'm going to ask you this now. Are we like at a love triangle? Is this a square now? Maybe one of those little octagon things? What's happening? Because I feel like in some way, Olivia keeps finding herself in a position with some man. And you remember, what's the guy, her first fiance? The senator? Yeah. Yo, I thought she just didn't like him. You know, the way that they kind of portrayed it last season was like she was kind of over it. Never mind. I loved you. I thought I was ready for marriage, but I'm not. And now we see her dad is really, you know, pulling strings, and it's all about business with him. So Olivia's with him. She's with Fitz. She's got a thing for Jake I mean, is somebody else getting ready to come up out of a hole to try to save Olivia's life or come be her man? Like, you guys. So. What's the message here? What kind of message are we sending to just women in general? You know, I mean, every woman would at least like one man to fight over her. Olivia got the whole DC fighting over her,
but she's still not happy.
She's not.
So, what? I mean, what good is it?
And how do we? Sierra? Where do we define happiness? I mean, she's got all of the material possessions. She's got the most powerful man in the country, you know, arguably the world, madly in love with her. She's got great friends that are completely loyal to her. And yet, Morgan, you're right. She's not happy. So, Sierra, where does happiness really come from? How does it really fit inside of Olivia's story? Or is she, unfortunately, another robot in this big machine?
You know what? I feel like this. Olivia is so different than the Keisha from 31st Street and so on and so on. She's exactly like everybody else. She's going to make the horrible mistakes in men and so on and so on. And I think everybody can relate to that because we all have had or have somebody just like that where we don't know where it's going. We like this person, and they're all bad for us. So she needs to get it together.
Morgan, I mean, what about you? Like, what do you think?
I'm sticking with my normalcy theory.
that was actually a really good theory. I like how you went there.
Power might be the power, and the desire for power might be the opposite of happiness. Like it might be its kryptonite. I don't know.
So they don't go hand in hand.
I don't think that they can. Not if you want power, and not if you want it for the wrong reasons. I don't think, I don't know.
Let's go there a little bit deeper with that. And, today we showed a lot of flashbacks. And if you really take a look at the flashbacks and then the current scenes, each person is completely different. You have Olivia, who's this young girl, still wet behind the ears, still, trying to mend a relationship with her father who works at the Smithsonian. Like, what? And, she's sweet and innocent, and they have Sunday dinners, and Hawk is, the sweet homeless guy in the subway station. And then you fast forward to now and you see where they are. And it's almost as if everybody's story is overlapping to cover up a crack in the other person's story, as if they're trying to create, as if at some point they began trying to create a reality. Right. And it seems like it's falling apart right now. So Morgan, I think you guys are onto something. You too, Sierra. Like, I don't know if power equals happiness. I'm not even, and I'm not sure if you can even really hold on to your happiness once you have that much power. If, in fact, you don't really know what to do with it. Okay, let's go ahead and get some comments from our chat room. Let's see what's going on with all of our friends that have joined us. Yes, we are filming live, and if you're watching, or if you're catching us on Facebook or YouTube, you can go ahead and just look into myslicetv.com. Go ahead, throw in your comments. We'll be sure to catch any if we can on tonight's show. Look, you guys, remember that we do a character of the week. I'm going to let you guys guess and see which character I nominated for character of the week. Sierra, who do you think it should go to?
Olivia. I'm saying Olivia.
Okay, you say Olivia. Okay, Morgan?
Fitz?
You know what? Both of you guys are really onto something. It was a toss-up between the two. I couldn't really decide. But tonight, I did go ahead with Fitz. And let me tell you why. He had some OG exits tonight. Like, Fitz, he had them one-liners like,
His suit was a little
and
too small.
exit. It was like, and cutscene. And, oh, okay. You know, when he said, try me, when he was in the Oval Office with Melly, and they were telling him what you're gonna do, he said, it seems to me that you guys are missing something that's so obviously in front of you. I'm the president of the United States. I said, oh, he stood up on him. Like, he was very serious. So, Fitz, we want to congratulate you because you have been nominated, yay, for tonight's Character of the Week. And I love, okay, I shouldn't say I love, but you guys, remember, Olivia sat in her office. She's on the phone with Fitz. She's got the other girl in the other room about to do the live confession or of everything, but they're on the phone. Release Jake. I can't do that. You can release Jake. That's above me. I can't do that. You can do it. Olivia, listen to me. I can't do it. That's the reason that we're not in Vermont. That's the reason that we don't have 4 kids and a dog and a white picket fence. It's so you could be the president. It's so you could call the shots. Now call them. I'm paraphrasing, but you get what I'm saying. I'm telling you, it wasn't 2 minutes later. Fitz said, I'm the president of this United States here of America. And somebody, you guys, do women, I don't know if it's all women, but come on, Sierra, comment on this. This was definitely an ego trip she pulled on that. She knew what she was doing when she did that, didn't she?
She did. And that just shows like how powerful her character is. I love her.
She tried it, and it worked. Morgan, look, you know, when all else fails, question power. And she called him on it. I thought you was the president. Maybe I'm mistaken. Somebody else is the president. And well, what happened at the end? Jake Ballard at the door. So I guess it worked. When is it ever good to use that type of pull on somebody? You know, she kind of hit him with the personal jab right there.
All right.
Is that okay? I mean, for her, she was actually saving somebody's life. So in that instance, is it okay, or is that just never okay to really? She flexed on him a little bit, actually.
Well, honestly, I think that, again, Liv is trying to do the right thing in some situations. And I think that, it's just amazing how it all worked out because everybody played their role and she still got to do the right thing because she wanted the girl to be honest about the fact that she didn't have the affair. And then the girl sold her soul. And so once she sold her soul, she was open to anything. And so they didn't think there was no hesitation for them to just, sell her at the river. So then Fitz did. I mean, Fitz is already a murderer. After you murder somebody, there's really not too much more you can do, after that. So him going on live television telling a lie, I mean, not that he should have done it, but I mean, he's already deep in the hole. Her father kills people for a living, so he was just waiting to see who he needed to kill next. And at the end of the day, she got Jake at her door. She still has the love of her boo in the White House. She's back to Sunday dinners, and the girl got $2 million, and Liv didn't have to tell her to do anything wrong. So Liv definitely came out on top tonight.
It definitely appears so. Sierra, this is going to be a direct question for you as you're one of our newer guests for this season. We're so happy to have you on. What I'm thinking and what I kind of want to get your input on is when is too much too much? And when have you gone so far that you can't bring it back around? Because if we remember in last week, in the first episode of this season, when her father was telling her, you know, the president doesn't run what's going on. It's the power, it's the strength that runs what's going on. And that's when he made his declaration that he was that power. Well, clearly this episode we discovered, oh, you're the commander of B, 613, so you're killing everybody. But I'm going to have to go back to what you ladies were saying earlier. It's almost like he's trying to protect her. Like, it's almost as if everything he's done has, in some sick way, been like trying to protect her. But when has he gone too far? Do you know what I mean? Like, when have you gone too far on the father thing? Because even tonight at the dinner table, remember, he was like, now I am your dad, and you're going to sit down, pick up your menu. And like, dude, you keep crossing the lines, and people are dying, and lives are being destroyed, and then you want to be daddy, and you want to. But for us, not just the characters, but for us, when is too far? Too far. When can you cross somebody and maybe never come back?
Right. You know what? First of all, I think what we haven't paid attention to is Daddy Pope does not have a woman. Okay? So his life outside of work is his daughter. So everything, in his mind, it's like, yeah, he's doing everything he could possibly do. But, I mean, personally, I think he need to get a woman and he need to get a life and sit down somewhere. That's what I think.
Yeah. Yeah, and Morgan, I mean, go ahead. We want you to chime in, too. What about you? What are your thoughts on the road to, is there a road to redemption here? Is there sight for restoration, or is this just a wrap? Like, we're done, I
think the reason that he keeps coming up short is because he's somewhat of a hypocrite. He's already made his choice. And he's chosen B613. Even though he has his Sunday dinners, even though he tries to protect Olivia, he's made his choice. And he's chosen to put his job, the Republic, before his daughter. And I think there's always going to be that strain because he's always making decisions out of the loyalty of two different, things. Yeah. So he's always going to find himself in this pickle because he's already made his decision, and I think that he knows it's not the right one, but he's in too deep, and so when you're in deep, enough is never enough.
Yeah, and then I guess that's when you start fighting for your normalcy, and quite frankly, it's not there anymore. Like, normal is so gone. Okay, so from our viewers, I want to know from you guys. We want to get your emails. We want to get your comments on the comment board. We want to see you Facebooking us. We want you to go to the website and contact us and let us know. Let us know because this season is kind of hitting home in a different way than all of the other seasons were, because this season, everybody, the writers are really showing the truth behind the person, the pieces that make them up. And apparently everybody's like this quilt, each person is their own quilt, and they have all of these patches to make up what we see. And now we're getting to see each piece and each wound. And we want to know, one, which character you identify the most with. We want to know why you identify with that character. And then I want to know, what do you think? Like, we got a lot of cliffhangers here. So how do you think some of these stories are going to unfold? How do you think they're going to end up? What do you think? Because, guys, here's the thing. I still don't know what was in last week's manila folder. I don't know what's happening. And, last week, when Cyrus was sitting at the table talking to Olivia's dad, he didn't seem to know who the man was. But clearly, if he's over B613 and Cyrus is in so deep, then he's got to know. So it's like, I want to hear from you. We want to hear from you. Here at MySliceTV.com, we want to hear from all of the gladiators. And if you're just now tuning in to Scandal, and this is your first season, we need you to do a little catch-up. Go ahead. View season 1 and 2. And then come on and leave your comments, too. You guys, what what is this really like reflecting about the White House? Because yes, it's a TV show. Yes. But do you think like there's really this kind of drama like going on like behind the scenes? Like, yes, we're going to feed all of the hungry children in Indonesia, and we're going to take care of the education problem in Wyoming. Oh, by the way, I've got this whole situation happening behind me. Like, how does somebody like Fitz really juggle everything? For that matter, how does the average working person handle the issues at work, if they're married, if they have children, their own social life? Like, Scandal is really having me think about a lot of things. Are we really good multitaskers? Sierra, what do you think?
I think we're built to. We're built to handle situations as they're thrown at us. We don't think, okay, today I wake up and this is going to happen, this is going to happen, this is going to happen. No, we take everything one time and say, okay, you know what? I'm going to deal with this, and then I'm going to deal with this, and then I'm going to deal with this, and we get it out the way, and then we go to sleep at night. And I think that's just what happens. And I can almost bet maybe not those exact same situations going on in the White House, but please believe it is some drama going on, and it's juicy, and everybody who knows about it is still working there, and they're not going to release any information.
Yeah. I mean, you really said it, but, like, Morgan, what about you? Like, chime in.
I agree. I think that, sadly, politics it's the norm now for there to be a little bit of shade.
Yeah.
At least when you think about politics, that's normal. And I feel like what this show is showing me is that, anybody can have good intentions. And as the other young lady is saying, things come to us day by day, but you always have a choice in terms of if you want to do the right thing or want to do the wrong thing. That's what I'm getting from it. You always have a choice. Whether or not you're placed in a scandal or you started the scandal, you always have a choice. And I think that, the show is about people making those choices and then having to do whatever it takes to stand by those choices.
That's really good. That's really good. And with that, you guys, I think that really not only sums up tonight's episode, but, what we want to talk about here is to our viewers and even to ourselves, like, we have a choice, and let's all be very intentional about the choices that we're making each and every day, and how we're affecting the lives of the people around us. Because like Olivia said, the moment you sell yourself, every day after that, you will have to deal with the fact that you lost a piece of yourself. And every day you will lose a piece of yourself. So to our friends and to our gladiators, don't lose a piece of yourself, and don't lose the contact information from our guest today. Go ahead, Sierra. Let's let all the viewers know where they can keep in touch with you socially.
I'm on Facebook under Sierra Wright, or you could just look up Double Bubble.
Okay. Well, you know what? Hey, everybody got to keep a little mystery in your life. We get you. Morgan, let's remind the folks where we can go ahead and keep in touch with you socially.
You can find me on Facebook or on Instagram at Morgan Breon, Breon, Morgan_Breon.
All right. Well, that is it for tonight's show. You guys, remember, this is MySliceTV.com after the scandal every Thursday night after Scandal. I'm Lachelle. We'll see you next week. Peace.